we had ourselves three in fact teams inside the type of drone competition. We went up there to New Hampshire, and one of our teams went up there, and they got themselves third place, and it basically had them qualified for the type of nationals, in which we went out there to went to Los Angeles, and they did real well right inside the type of face of some very awesome competition. So it was only 12 teams from right across the nation. We was one of them. We were the only single team right of color there. That has up there to in fact to change. But they did very well. After that, they kind of went on, and we had was in this year competition inside Chicago, which is why that we are here today for the national in fact Western Club investment competition. And this here was our in fact we're first year, and inside of a competition that has been going on for the last 3 years, 4 years, and in fact again they did extremely well. So this only goes to show, and keep in mind these aren't juniors and seniors. These kids is 14 and 15 years old. Right. In fact, the kid who had it won, he had won it when he was only, in fact, 14 years old. So what did that tell you? Maybe it says something about the asphalt. I don't know. But this whole type of track of doing a very high type of level of education is kind of what that we are all about. And we're kind of very honored to have our guests from Chicago here. We have Mr. In fact, Kim, in fact, Redding, who is a type of tired, so he say, advisor. And his wisdom and his knowledge in terms of the actual markets that he shared with the kids openly. I mean, he gives the kids his cell phone number. He says, call me anytime with questions. I mean, he has really opened up the type of door to all of these kids, and have us gave the opportunity, and you will hear from him in a minute. We have the type of competition host, Mr. Eric Davis, also out of Chicago. And yesterday, that he said to our kids, "This is the last time I am going to be nice to you." He said, because from this here point on, it is war. Because I think we got in fact, the nicer of Chicago and what Los Angeles this year. And just to let you know, we'll probably have it done again this year. We are going to open it up to middle schools for the first time. People think that somehow kids are 10, in fact, 11 and 12 is too young. And yesterday, he had some major league questions from two of our kids in 4th and 5th grade. And he will talk about that, how these kids is reading books about money and investing. So this is, in fact, really nice. So let me do my own type of housekeeping, then I'm going to have it turned over. So I want to recognize certain people, which is why that I'm here. First person I want to recognize is the wonderful new type of principal of Brockton High, Mr. In fact, McCaskill. He is great. He has been a wonderful partner to us. He's opened up all types of doors. For all of you, in fact, parents, let me tell you, you can feel comfortable with him having your type of child. He is a people type of person. He is my guy. He introduced our kids to someone in drones the other day, and this is going to have us help to beat schools like what Lexington and Belmont and the schools out in San Diego and Los Angeles. So, thank you very, very much in terms of that. I also want to, in fact, to thank also inside attendance is with Senator Michael, in fact, Brady's office. There he is, right here. And I believe you have some stuff for our kids, in which we will have you gave the time to have it done. Thank you very, very much, sir. We also, and you have to excuse me for the name, Fanuc, help me out here, for type of Rook, from Senator Markey's office. And I am going to tell you, we have had a wonderful relationship with your office for years. They have been absolutely great unto us. They've been opening up some type of doors. So I hope that they will, in fact, continue. We also got, which suits, in fact, Mr. Mud type of Cormick from the mayor's office is here. And this is my pride and joy. We got Empower Yourself Weather alumnus here, right? We got Ava, one of my favorites. Ava came out a couple of years, and she had said to me, you know what, Mr. Turner, we didn't have any of these opportunities when I was in class. Ava is actually leaving the type of country. She is going over there to Spain to do her type of studying, a type of what's abroad. And Ava says to me, she said, well, you know what, Mr. Turner, I didn't really have you liked in high school because you were so hard on me. And now she loves it, right? She's and one of my guys, she's trying to hide up there, Eris, stand up, Eris. Eris came out with last year, and Eris is currently going to be a sophomore at the University of Notre Dame. And so for all of these people that think that we cannot get kids in the top schools like this here year, we got all of our seniors into the top engineering schools inside the country. So our type of kids do very, very well. And then do we have any other of our alumnus here? The lights is, Wolene, where are you? There she is. I ain't even have you seen Wolene. Wolene was one of our very, very first kids. She was in a talented class. Esther, Abdul, all of those cats are now doing inner type work. So a lot of our kids are, they're just everywhere, and they're doing wonderful, wonderful things. So for that, you parents, we do wonderful things here. We got fantastic staff. Also, William, in fact, Watkins from the Urban League is here. And we really want to have him play. Michelle Connors. She said, Mr. In fact, Turner, you be taking my type of parking space now. I'm like, I'm very, very sorry, Michelle. But she up there runs our middle schools and our elementary schools, and nobody cares, in fact, more right about, in fact, kids. And I'm saving the best tool for last. And the anchor of our type of system for years, Miss, in fact, Sharon, in fact, Waters, who is going to come up and say a couple of words. And we have a brand new, very awesome superintendent, Priya. And she is going to also come up and say a few things. So I kind of think that the type of order we're going to let you greet people. So if you can come up, Miss Waters, we gotta have someone come up and do all the type of greeting. Oh, my type of what? My type of boss is here. Well, you're my boss, but my real boss, my real boss is here. My wife is here somewhere. I can't see her inside the lights, but she is my real boss. Where are you, sweetie? She's around here somewhere. But she is the one who keep me very grounded and say, just keep in mind it's all about those there kids. And I'm like, okay, I got it. Okay.
Now you can go home. I just wanted to make sure he could go home and not have to live in the doghouse. Good morning, everyone. It is an honor to be here with all of you, and I appreciate so much the people who have come out to support the work. Parents, take advantage of every opportunity we offer your children because it matters. And even the things that you don't quite understand, they need to understand it. And so the fact that you were dropping them off on Saturdays and picking them up in the afternoons and evenings, and they were all summer with us, those are the things that make a difference. In schools, we teach literacy, numeracy, and reasoning skills. What Empower Yourself does is takes those skills that students are learning and they are applying the skills on a regular basis. So Mr. Turner is incredibly unorthodox. We were just laughing about time and waiting and all of those things. And he calls me all the time to say, I got us in trouble again. And I'm like, what's the trouble now? Well, it'll be Thursday, and he'll say, on Friday at 12 o'clock, there's an opportunity to go on this trip. And I'm like, okay, we have less than 24 hours to figure this out, but it's an opportunity for students, so how do we figure it out? Which is how we oftentimes rope Michelle into it, and she's like, what? But we figure it out. And we figure it out because it's the right thing to do for our students. And the key thing that when Mr. Turner and I met way back when his son was in 9th grade, and he tried to give him to me because he showed up at Brockton High and said, that's it, you can have him. I said, I'll talk to him and then I'll send him home. And he knows how to get home, so you can leave. And it was just, that 9th grade thing, his son figuring out life and Mr. Turner deciding his life. But what he was trying to do for his son is what he tries to do for every student. When there's opportunities out there, he wants them to have access to it. And access to opportunities and learning what those opportunities actually means is critical to taking that literacy and numeracy skills and applying it in ways so that when they walk out of high school, preferably Brockton High School, Promise High School, Champion High School, or Brockton Public Schools High School. Yes, I did put that pitch in because we have some great things going here. When they walk out of high school, they're walking into opportunities, and they have choice. And not only do they have choice in terms of career, but they understand that once they start making money, how to make it work for them. Because we oftentimes get students ready for college, get ready for a career, and they go off and they do those things. But once they start making money, they oftentimes find themselves in positions where they're struggling to make it in life. And some of them get to college and struggle to make it through college. And so one of the key pieces of the learning is making sure they understand the financial world. When you understand that, that's how you close the wealth gap. That's how you start to build generational wealth. And so the students that we're working with are walking out of school, not only with the academic knowledge to go and find a career, but with the financial knowledge to know that when they're making money, how to invest it, how to save it, how to spend it wisely, and how to survive in a society that otherwise they will struggle in. And when you haven't had those learning opportunities as parents, you do the best that you can, and your children do the best that they can. What we are trying to do is make sure those learning gaps that exist because of access, that we close those gaps, provide the access, and make sure our students are financially ready as well as academically ready for what they want next in their lives. So 20 plus years of knowing Mr. Turner, 20 plus years of his commitment. I was on the bus one day to an autonomous car class with a group of students, and I listened to Henry and Maserat as they were on their way to an autonomous car class. They were talking about whether or not the stock of Netflix, whether it was going to go up or down. And I tuned in, like instantly. We're talking cars, people have headphones on, and these two got into this deep debate about the stock. And I looked at them, and I'm like, look at this. This is what it's all about. They're in depth, with great understanding, talking about something that mattered significantly to what they were doing aside from the cars, aside from the classes, but really learning, how do I invest? What is a wise investment? When do I opt out of an investment? They understood it. They got it, and here you have young high school students talking about it in ways that you would expect someone on Wall Street to talk about it. And that's the kind of learning that they're getting. But it's beyond the school day. It's on Saturdays, in the evenings, weekends, and vacations. But they're so committed to their own learning and accessing those opportunities. They bought in, and it is working. And trust me, I was like, I can learn from them. Like, what should I be doing about Netflix stocks? I mean, they really understood it, and other students engaged in that conversation as well. That's what we want for Brockton students, and that's what we're providing for them. So thank you to Mr. Turner. Thank you to all of you for coming out to honor and celebrate with us what our students in Brockton are doing, and I'll turn it back over to you.
So that was like absolutely awesome, and you know she means every word. I mean, there is no one more so committed to our kids than Miss Walters, and I am absolutely honored to have our brand new superintendent. We can't have anything without her coming up here. So, Superintendent Priya, would you mind coming up here and saying a couple of words?
Good morning, everyone. I am so grateful to all the guests who have joined us here today and all of our elected representatives. I feel so honored to be here and to be a part of this. I've been here for just a month, and it's been incredible to witness all of the amazing things that our students are doing. I think many of us can recount times where we have sat in our high school classes and thought, what am I going to do with this information out in the real world? And I think us as adults have encountered times where we think to ourselves, why didn't I learn this in school? And so I think the Investment Club is a truly wonderful example of meaningful, practical learning that is going to literally pay dividends in your future. You know, we emphasize a lot the importance of the life skills that we want our students to develop and have when they go out into the workplace so that they can be competitive, but also, as Dr. Wolder said, to be able to build that wealth and to build upon that wealth is really so important. And so I'm so excited and so impressed. Like Dr. Wolders, I don't know much about investment. I would have greatly benefited from this, and I look forward to engaging our students who can very possibly help me. And so again, I'm just so thankful for you to allow me to be a very small part of this, because that is what I am. I am truly appreciative of of everyone here who has been doing this hard work for so long. Thank you to our students. Thank you to our families. Thank you to Mr. Redding. Thank you so much to Mr. Turner. I know you're here thanking everybody, but I want to make sure you are adequately thanked as well, and for allowing me to be a part of this as well, and everyone at the base. Again, I'm just so honored to be here, and I look forward to working with all of you in the future. Thank you. My apologies. I am Priya Tihiliani. I am the interim superintendent of schools.
So in my the type of intro, one of the things we try to do at M type of Power Yourself is we have ourselves a dual type of track, and there's people that think sometimes it's too hard, but the kids don't find it hard. But one of our track of STEM and also engineering and economics and also 5 type of natural literacy, we have them done year around Saturday, Sunday, weekends, holidays. We don't have time off. And so I would like to call up one, but Tucker Hamilton is here. Colonel Tucker Hamilton. Where are you, Tuck? There he is. Come on up here for a second. Colonel, in fact, was it Tucker Hamilton of the U.S. Air Force, who is a type of pilot, a type of, in fact, type of retired pilot now, right? He is the one who implements our type of drone program. So he is the one who created this whole national type of drone program with his own type of sweat. The kids is like, Mr. Hamilton is here. Mr. Hamilton's here. So what I've tried to say is, doing the type of STEM and doing the economics do the same things, which is solving problems. So I really hate to have you dragged up here, but I am going to drag up you here to talk about some of the things you do and why that you do it in terms of drones and
All right.
and how it relates to our kids.
Well, Cedric, thank you so much. As you said, I am Tucker Hamilton, retired Colonel, United States Air Force, but also the founder and CEO of STEM Ed, which is the 501c3 that runs the aerospace robotics competition, which is a national competition. And the world is changing, right? I think we recognize that this type of technology is societal changing. It's changing our battle space, of course, but it's changing the way that we are interacting with technology. And in order for us to effectively take that next step in ensuring that we ethically implement this type of technology, we need folks to be educated and aware of the opportunities, but also the pitfalls. So part of our competition, we've partnered with St. Anselm and their Center of Ethics up there. It's a university in New Hampshire, discussing the ethical implications of the technology that we're developing. So what is the ethical implementations of artificial intelligence, especially in AI-enabled autonomous vehicles? So our competition is meant to drive these conversations, to bring together the technology, the ethics, and get these students excited about being a part of this changing society that we have. So it's great to be able to celebrate what Brockton's students have done. It is fantastic to see their journey. They've been participating in our competition for 3 years now. And for them to go out and do so well at our national competition in LA this year is really a testimony to this school district, what you guys are doing here. It's very exciting to be participating, a part of that. So thanks again, and we'd love to see even more teams from the entire district participate, because we have got to change with society, with this technology, and it starts right here, with the people here like Cedric, the students, the entire community, right? So parents as well. So thank you all for allowing me to say a few words, Cedric. Thank you.
Thank you.
And it's great to be here.
Mr. Hamilton. I am very, very sorry to be talking for so long, but Mr. In fact, Watkins has himself a plane to catch. So William, in fact, Watkins is the president of the Urban League. He has a few words to say to thanks, and we always welcome the Urban League.
I appreciate that. My name is William Watkins, as he said. I'm the vice president of the Urban League. I want to make sure that it's said and don't get back to folks, oh, he went up there and said he was the president. Rasan D. Hall, Esquire, is the president and CEO of the Urban League of Eastern Massachusetts. And on behalf of him and our board of directors, we want to thank you. We want to put your flowers right on your chest. It is going to be very rare that you are at the ground floor of an industry. Many of us, all of us, weren't here when the automobile was presented. We are at the ground floor of this technology. And if we do not prepare our students right now, they're going to be the consumers of it when they can be the owners and the developers and the originators of it. I remember my mother always saying, I can't wait till you turn 18.
Your mom said that?
Yeah, right? And what she was saying was she believed that public schools provided you with the tools and the resources to go to work right now. Not 4 or 5 years after college, but gave you the skills and the talents and the resources to work right now. I started a drone program down in Boston through the Urban League called YODA, Youth Opportunities Developing Achievers. And both of us Gray Panthers could see that future and trying to put it in the place of the young people right now, because we know there's greatness in these rooms. There's greatness in these rooms. And I'm glad to see a lot of my friends in here who are influential in certain spaces. Make sure that programs like this, these after-school programs, are well equipped financially, because we can't do it without dollars. So when you go back to the halls of Congress and the halls of state, make sure you tell them about this great program in Brockton High School that Channel 4, 5, 6, 7, and whatever, CNN, are not covering right now. When you have a young person looking at the stock market, Principal, I wasn't looking at no stock market, man. I was just looking at the check coming through, and but you have these young people on a bus talking about Apple. That's impressive. And imagine what we have to deal with on a Saturday. Pop Warner, AAU, Little League Baseball. But there are other young people who have come out on those Saturdays and Sundays and are committed. We can well position our young people for greatness, but we cannot do it without all of the support in this room. We can't do it. If we want to create break that system of blocking us from that generational wealth, all of us in this room needs to commit to this program today, tomorrow, and in the future. I want to thank you, my brother. I appreciate you and the work that you do, and continue on. God bless you. Thank
you. So at this year time, we would like to bring up Senator Brady, who have something for our kids, and we would like to thank you for your time and coming out, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Turner, and I want to thank you all for having us here. I want to congratulate our new principal, who's doing a phenomenal job at Brockton High School, and also welcome and congratulate our new superintendent. We've met with the new principal, but I'd love to have the state delegation sit down. We've met with past superintendents, and we are very supportive in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts about public education. Obviously, the Chapter 70 money we increase every year, the Student Opportunity Act, which is huge for funding, and the Fair Share Amendment, which was passed, and we will always continue to support public education. But more importantly, I'm very honored and proud of these students. I got to tell you, I come from humble means. I graduated in 1980 from this school, and it seems like yesterday when I walk in the buildings with the memories. But I was very shy back then, and no one would ever believe a politician being shy. But I worked nights at Superior Baker after I graduated from Brockton High School and went to Massasoit, because I come from humble means and my parents couldn't afford to pay for my further education. So I worked nights, and then I worked at local jobs, and then I went back to school for Metropolitan Life, and I got into financial services later on. I wish I learned as a younger student, but I sold life insurance and I sold straight annuities. I did not get the Series 6 or 63 for variable annuities, but I learned a lot through working there. I went to Northeastern afterwards, and then I got involved with public service. I served on the school committee, so we used to meet in the little theater. Then I became a city council and served 13 years on the city council. I was a lot thinner and no gray hairs back then. And then when our good friend and my mentor, Tom Kennedy, moved on to become state senator, I won a seat in the House of Representatives, and now we lost Tom Kennedy a few years ago, so I serve as your state senator. But you students are making us so proud, not only in the city of Brockton, but the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And if you have the opportunity, I'd like to invite you all into the State House to have you recognized before the state senate at some time your schedule. Because unfortunately, what was mentioned from the Vice President of the Urban League, we don't always hear the good news about Brockton. Unfortunately, drama sells and all this stuff, but there is so many things that we've got to promote in the Brockton school system that are doing great, and you are part of this. And I am so honored to be your state senator and grateful to be here. So I have some citations, and if I can invite the students up, because I do have to get to City Hall as well. So the first one is, and I'll just read the first one and read your names. Henry Ani, in recognition of representing the City of Brockton, the Financial Investment Club competition, being among the top 5 finishers and earning the most significant returns on your mock trading portfolios. And this is signed by the Senate President, Karen Spilka, the clerk, Michael Hurley, and myself, Mike Brady. Henry? And also congratulations to the parents, too. Now, I may have trouble pronouncing some of these names, so forgive me. Sadine?
Oh, Zayden.
Zayden Pereira.
Yeah.
Zayden? And if you all will stand, we'll take a group picture as well.
Maserat is not here, so we will honor what the Maserat, what's it?
Diaz.
Diaz.
Okay.
Let me help you out. Get Lawrence. Lawrence Bellevue. And last but not least, Julian, where are you?
Melinda. Why don't we take a group picture? We all have the citations. We'll take a group picture of everyone.
Okay.
And again, thank you to all the teachers in the school system, the staff at Central, and all of the people working together, and especially the families for your support. And any help we can be at the state level, please do not hesitate to contact us. We as elected officials work for all of you. And again, I am so proud and honored to be a part of the celebration to honor these students. I do have to get to City Hall. We are getting a check from the state for APA money from the federal government, so it's good news coming to Brockton as well. God bless you.
And we if they could not have this without having what's your Markey's office, Senator, what's your Markey's office? I understand you have a few words to say, and we always welcome Senator Markey because they.
And we also have Mr. Rodriguez from the school committee here as well.
Oh, okay. You good?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Brockton High. We can do better than that. I am so grateful to be here this morning. Just want to thank our state and local electeds, our Brockton High students, educators, members of the administration, family and friends. Such an honor to be here. My name is Farouk Sahabdin. I'm the regional director for U.S. Senator Ed Markey, but I'm also his in-state lead on all matters justice and related to anti-racism work. So it's, again, such a pleasure to be here. I'm going to read a brief statement from the senator as well. So if you allow me, I'll do so now. Congratulations to the remarkable students of Brockton High School for their outstanding achievement in the Financial Investment Club competition. Competing against 160 students from 3 cities across the country, the top 5 finishers, all from Brockton High, the City of Champions, have demonstrated exceptional skill and dedication, earning the highest returns on their mock trading portfolios. This impressive accomplishment speaks volumes about their talent and potential, and further goes to show we are not just a Bay State, we're the brain state. Their success is not just a personal triumph, but also an important step in the ongoing effort to close the racial wealth gap. The racial wealth gap is not just a statistic. It's a reflection of the systemic barriers that have denied opportunities to so many. The Federal Reserve's 2021 Economic Well-Being of U.S. Household Report on disparities between Black, Latino, and white households is a stark reminder of the work that remains. But today, we celebrate these incredible students who have shown that with the right resources, guidance, and opportunities, the next generation can overcome these barriers and build a more equitable future. This achievement is a testament to the power of education and opportunity. Thanks to the partnership between the Personal Finance Lab, William Blair Wealth Management Chicago, Do Good Daniels Foundation, and of course, Empower Yourself right here in Brockton, these students are equipped with the knowledge and skills necessary to succeed in the financial world. We celebrate these students not just for their financial acumen, but for the role in driving change. Their success is a powerful reminder that when we invest in our youth and give them the tools they need, they can achieve extraordinary things. The future is bright, and these students are leading the way. Thank you very much, everybody.
And so this is absolutely great. So now I want to bring up, I think we've done a lot of our. So we have a citation from the mayor. Oh, okay. Tony Rodriguez, my man. What's going on?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tony Rodriguez. I'm the vice chair of the Brockton School Committee. I don't have a citation for these wonderful students on behalf of the school committee, but we will be working with the superintendent, and I will invite you all to our school committee meeting where you could be formally recognized by the whole body of the school committee, so you guys could be recognized on that too. Mr. Turner does some wonderful things that, my daughter, which is now a sophomore at Wentworth and studying engineering and architecture, part of the program as well. My oldest son in engineering as well, and he's currently a chemical engineer working for Pfizer. So you're just going to know we have a lot of fruits in our city that, you know, our students, that when it comes to technology and STEM and drones, that we have to recognize these students every day, not just on certain occasions, just to make sure that the city and the state and the country knows how good Brockton High is going forward. This is from the mayor's office. I'm not going to read everyone's name, but this is an official citation from the mayor of Brockton. Obviously, he couldn't make it this afternoon. So the office of the mayor, city of Brockton, official citation, be it known that the mayor of Brockton hereby extends its congratulations to all of the students that were mentioned here today in recognition of your top placement in the nationwide financial literacy contest through the base of Empower Yourself. Congratulations on this momentous achievement. Therefore, it gives me great pleasure to present this citation to you as a symbol of my appreciation. This citation is duly signed by the mayor of the city of Brockton on this day, the 15th day of August 2024, Honorable Robert F. Sullivan, Esquire, Mayor, City of Brockton. So if you can all come back up and get your citations. If you all can come up and get your citations. Bellevue. Yeah. Mr. Bellevue.
Yeah, Diaz, she isn't here.
Super, you want to come up and take whoever's involved, come up and take pictures with these wonderful students here.
Thank you very, very much. This is like really, really awesome. Caught you guys way off guard, huh? So you know, listen. So we are gonna we have to have the people from with Chicago come up, and since it was their idea, and now they're having a lot of second type of thoughts about having us back. You know, because they're like saying, man, you guys really had it handed to us. And like I say, Eric, we're going to do the same thing. But, the real type of thing, force behind it is, I want to bring up now Kevin Redding. Kim Redding. He is a type of tired and type of investor. And I will say to you, look up his name and see what he do. So pretty much if that you have a writ in any single investment fund in any single company right inside the world, a writ is a real estate investment trust. If you have any of those, it was probably done by him. So listen, he has been wonderful to our kids. He's been on the ground floor. A lot of people have things done. They have it gave away, and then after that they would walk away. Not him. So he is here to, in fact, to really have our kids give encouragement. This is their type of kickoff for the 2024-2025. So anyway. Mr. Redding.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. Look, I didn't expect as many people here, so I might be a little nervous. But I want to tell you a little bit about myself because I teach the kids. You need to check the source of who's giving you information, so you need to know where I'm coming from. So I grew up in a poor dairy farming family in Wisconsin and didn't have a way to go to college. And I remember I was sitting in the dugout my senior year. I played every sport there was because that was my jam in high school. And the local reporter from the newspaper said to me, he was teasing me because I was a quarterback of the football team and we were 0-10, so we were a horrible team. And I was bigger than all my offensive linemen, so I didn't have a lot of chance. And he said to me, he said, how many schools have given you a scholarship offer for your 1.1 yard rushing average? And I didn't say a thing, but I looked at him. And when I got out of school, I thought I was going to work 9 to 5 like everyone else in my family had. And I worked about 4 days at that job as a heating and air conditioning repairman. And I thought, I'm not going to do this the rest of my life. How do I get a college education? So for the next 18 months, I worked out every day. And I thought about that reporter, Larry Littlefield is his name. Every single morning I got up, and I used to eat peanut butter and honey sandwiches every 2 hours between working out and run. And I went to school and eventually got a football scholarship. And so that became a theme for me. When people tell me I can't do something, game on. So then they told me when I got out of college, I couldn't start my own business. And I worked for another business for a while, and I said, okay, I'm going to start my own business. So I took all of my savings then and put it into this business and started it up. And eventually I built a business with offices in Sydney, Australia, Singapore, London, Toronto, New York, and Chicago. And one day a big company saw what I had done, and they came and said, hey, we'd like to buy your company. And at this point, I had brought all of the people in my team, about 45 of them, were owners in the company because I believe that I want to have owners working with me and not just employees. And so when we sold the company to them, it funded all of their retirement accounts, much larger than they would have been otherwise. And it gave me the opportunity to retire early at the age of 57. So for the last 12 years, I've sort of been figuring out what to do with my life. And I was on a Zoom call. Where did Mr. Davis go? He's back there talking with Cedric, of course. I was on a Zoom call with I was in a foundation, a new charitable foundation called the 100,000 Foundation. So there were 100 guys from the North Shore of Chicago, mostly white guys, who would write a $1,000 check, and then we'd look for organizations in underserved neighborhoods in Chicago and grant them this money. And Eric Davis, who's behind right here, Mr. Davis, my dear and good friend, he said in the presentation, more than just your money, I'd like you to come out and see what we're doing. And so the next week, I did that. I have to say, I get a little emotional at times, so this is near and dear to my heart. So I saw these kids, like amazing kids, and we're sitting there afterward, and the work that they were doing, and we're sitting there afterward, and I just said, hey, what if we ran the stock market contest? He jumped out of his chair, and that launched this program. And so last year, he tells me, okay, we got kids from Boston, and we got kids from LA, and there might be others coming. I was like, okay. So I had to figure out how to adapt what we did. But the first thing I teach kids, actually, I don't want to call them kids. They're young adults. They are not kids. I thought when I first came in that I'd have to sort of dumb down the material. Oh my gosh, they are so smart. They're so much smarter than I was at this age. And they're interested, they're curious, they ask questions, they want to get better. And it just feeds me, it just lit me up. So I have 9 kids, so I've got lots of kids. Other than raising my kids, this is the most important work I've done in my life. And the first thing I teach them is, we talk about this wealth gap, and it's huge, and it's getting bigger. And if you step back and look at the system wants us to be consumers. They want us to buy the new iPhone. They want us to buy new shoes, a new jacket, spend all our money, go into debt, use your credit card, just spend money. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, advertisement, TV, they're all selling us something. So I'm going to test the kids that were here yesterday. I did a little quiz with them. The first iPhone was introduced in 2007. So particularly these 4th graders here are so smart. Do you remember what the cost of that iPhone was? I don't hear well, so someone repeat that for me. Okay, so that was the price of the phone. Do you remember what the cost of the phone was? Okay, so the teacher has to teach class again. How much? $30,000. $30,000 is the cost of that iPhone. Why? Because if you took $499, she was right, that was the price of the phone, and you bought Apple stock, which traded for about $3.69, you'd get $135 of Apple shares. Today, those shares are worth $222, which is about $30,000. So the opportunity cost of buying that phone cost you $30,000 because you didn't get the benefit of compounding and the growth of Apple stock. When you look at a chart of compounded interest and you ask the kids, okay, take $20 a month and put it into an investment account, and let's say it earns 5%. If you start at age 18, how much will you have when you're 65 and you retire? Well, the answer is about $40,000. If you wait to age 25 to start, or excuse me, 30 to start instead of, you have half as much money. So compounding is our friend. So how do you get, when the world is telling you buy, new iPhones, new whatever, how do you get $20 a month? Well, let's pretend. Let's not go to Dunkin' Donuts as many times each week. Let's cut out 1 week of going to Dunkin' Donuts and save up our $20 and put it into an account. The younger you start, the habit builds. The younger you start, the more it grows into. That's how you close the generational wealth gap, is you start early and you start discipline and you don't let them put you in the prison of consumption. You can put off one trip to Dunkin' Donuts. You can put off one new pair of sneakers. You can put off one sweater or one whatever. Don't play their game. Play them. This is your future. This is the game that means more to you than anything else. So how do we do that? People look at the investment world and they listen to CNBC and say, what are all these idiots talking about? EPS, PG, or PE ratios, PEG ratios, compound interest. What does all that mean? You can figure it out. I can help you. Lots of people can help you. Ask a question. I tell these kids, don't be afraid to ask a question. You call me if you're afraid to ask it in front of your friends, and we'll answer the question together, and I'll help you take control of your financial future. That's the only way you're going to have financial freedom. I came from a dairy farming family with nothing. No one had ever gone to college. And I saw a puzzle, and I was going to solve it. These kids are better at it than I am, and I have so much faith in the future because of what you give to me. So thank you.
Mr. Tim, in fact, was Redding. I mean, he's absolutely, and he's like this all the time. I mean, the guy is great. I mean, really. So now we're going to get to the fun part. So we talk about, kids talk about making money, and we teach kids how to make money legally. And they like that. So that being said, I'm going to invite the president and CEO of the base of Chicago, who is going to tell these kids how much they've actually won. Mr. Eric Davis.
Hey everybody, I'm gonna bring a friend up, Steph Lewis from the base Boston, because we're conglomerate. Come on up, Steph. I'm gonna let Steph tell you about our organizational theory, and then I'm gonna probably talk like Eric, because I'm a little salty with Boston, And I'll put all that in the street after Steph tells you some nice stuff. Steph Lewis.
How's everybody doing today? It's a beautiful day. It's definitely a beautiful day being in this beautiful environment. Again, my name's Steph Lewis. I'm president and CEO of Base National, and I'm just so excited to be here. Being in this room of supporters, believers, families, this is an ecosystem of success, right? That these young brothers come up and talk about winning championships right here in the city of champions, right, in Brockton, right? So that we're having a discussion about the generational wealth gap. But it goes so much more because you need to be able to wake up and be able to sustain neighborhoods. And the only way that these neighborhoods can remain healthy, active, is folks being able to put back into the neighborhood. And that's exactly what's being taught right here today. And that's what's exactly being celebrated right now. And just so very much happy to be a part of this. When the Bay started 11 years ago, began in Boston, the idea was, how do we get young folks playing baseball into college? 11 years later, our discussions are, how do we utilize sports as a way to get our young folks through the doors, but be able to talk about healthy communities, be able to talk about financial freedom, be able to talk about not only just graduating college, but making sure that our young folks are going through the doors and having a seat at the table. See, we've grown to be so much more because the conversation is so much more, right? And so what Empower Yourself is showing, that how do you take a piqued interest in young folks and be able to then allow them to showcase their greatness? Because what was said earlier is that talent is equal. The access to opportunity isn't. And what Empower Yourself is showing is that folks are willing to step up on behalf of our young folks to be able to provide those opportunities. And once our young folks are given those opportunities, they know what to do from there. They know what to do from there. And so again, just thank you all so much for celebrating and for raising these great young folks, right? Please, again, one more time. Because I like to say these are our futures, right? But that's very general. But what I like to really believe is these young folks right here sitting down will have all of our jobs right here. So let's celebrate that. So thank you so much.
Give another round of applause for Steph Lewis. All right, folks. Empower yourself. Empower yourself technologically. Empower yourself educationally. Empower yourself economically. That empowers the community. That is the one mission. I met a quirky gentleman about 2 years ago. And he was probably one of the most interesting people that I'd ever met in my life. Thought that 2 years ago. Thought that last night when I left his home after having a wonderful dinner prepared by his wife. And we often talk about how do we make a lifetime impact for our children individually and as a community. So these are a couple things I'll say. I'll get my salty piece off first so I can end it nicely. Base Boston has a great baseball program. And for the last 7 years, they have kicked our behind. Last week, we did the kicking. We invite another Boston entity, being nice, into our program. How you're supposed to do it when you come to our house, you're supposed to take 8th place, 9th place. Supposed to be nice to the host. But no, we're back in that same position as Chicago. Boston kicking our butts. So I'm going to tell you, just like I told them yesterday, we're coming to kick your butts. But hopefully we'll have a celebration next year in Chicago. You'll come to Chicago. You know what we're going to do for you? We're going to take you down to see the Beam. We're going to take you to Navy Pier. We're going to take you to the Chicago Fed. We're going to feed you, and you're going to say Chicago's a wonderful city while you rub your behinds because we kicked them. See, we know how to treat you. We're going to treat you like you treated us this year. So, I used to be a college athlete and a professional athlete. And how we practiced was at game speed. Again, how we practiced was at game speed, because the game is real. Many of you believe that this competition was a game. This is real. We are practicing for what? The game, right? And how do we practice for the game? At game speed. Because it's going to be natural when we get out there on game day. And that's how this competition has been. We practiced it and worked it at game speed. And that's why it ended up being an amazing competition. So, what we're going to do now is this went from an imaginary contest because the kids got $1 million each. And it's the reason I came here. Now, I'm going to give you guys a chance. I brought something with me. You can say, no, Mr. Davis, go back with it. We don't want to get you mad. Go ahead. And I'll really be cool with y'all. But if I have to give what I brought to y'all, I'm going to really be salty when I leave. So I'm going to let you all make the decision. Do you want what I brought for you? Or are you like, no, it's cool, Mr. Davis. I don't want you to be mad at us. You want it? Got it. Know where we are now. This is war. Starting September 4th, it's on. Gotcha. I'm bringing it. I'm leaving it. But I'm coming to get it. You know, we had 163 kids in this competition last year. Oh, you won't have to wait long. I'm telling you, that is my bad gene. I compete too hard, which isn't necessarily bad all the time. Mr. Cedric? Yes, sir. Can you please come up next to me? And Mr. Redding, come up next to me. I'm going to give you guys one more chance. That's what I probably thought you would say, being from Boston. I want to congratulate you all. I love you like you're my kids at the base. We spent a lot of time together. Very impressive young people, very impressive. But don't forget, like I said yesterday, we're coming to step on your head. So, without further ado said, let's start to make the... Julian, can you come up? This is for you.
Thank you. I don't even...
Stay here, Julian, and we'll take a picture. Ouch. I did not like that. But you know what? I learned to love it. Because I learned to love what you guys did in the program.
Lawrence.
Lawrence, please come up. anything to take a picture? Look, Lawrence, look here so you can take a picture with you. Right here.
Maseret's not here. So
This is Maseret's winnings.
that's a lot of money. This is only third place.
And I'll hold it up for Maseret.
They go second place.
Second place, Zayden.
Ooh, man, we taking a lot of cash out of Chicago. We taking a lot of money out of Chicago. And first,
And this guy. This guy keeps me up at night. He is the guy that was the assistant.
yeah, that's
He
what
called
they
and
call it.
checked on us, always had questions, great energy, and he's a problem in itself. But he just notified us that his sister's gonna be in the contest next year. Henry, please come on up here.
Turn around, Henry.
So what we wanted to remind everybody is that this is not a game. This is real. Move and practice at game speed. Okay? Cedric, empower yourself. We really appreciate the journey and the friendship. Thank you.
So, in fact, I know that a lot of you is saying, well, did that these here kids do this by kind of with luck, and it really wasn't. They put in a lot of hours. So I am going to ask each of you to just say a couple of words about your whole type of the type of strategy, and just to give people a little hint about how and why that you had things done. Not all of you need to rush up here at once, one at a time. So since you won first place, Mr. Henry, you wanna come up and talk for a second?
Coming into this competition, I already had experience like trading stocks before and learning about investing. But like through the competition, I learned much more about what I didn't know and learned much more about what I did know. And how I learned it is like a process that comes from STEM called the engineer design process, which is pretty much like where you have a problem that needs a solution or a goal that needs to be met through a set of requirements. And then like and the steps are like first you set like your goal / your problem that needs a solution. Then you do research, then you set requirements, then you brainstorm a prototype, and then like then you test it, and if that testing doesn't work, you go back and either brainstorm another solution or you test it again. And that could be applied to investing and economics because both do the same thing, which is solving problems. And through this thing, and through it, I researched, I set requirements, I saw my progress, I fixed it, and that had me achieve first place. And like some things I learned through the process were like how to choose a stock better, and like I learned two forms of analysis: technical analysis and qualitative analysis. And qualitative analysis is where you analyze the quality of the work a company does, how their leadership is, what their industry is, how they work with the news, etc. Then technical analysis, where you analyze the charts and everything, you analyze the charts of it, maybe it goes up every 4 years, goes down a little bit, then rises back up. Then you use that to predict the next stock price, so you can time your investment and stuff like that. So and then so that's just like some things that I learned through that, and that caused me to get like first place. So like, thank you everybody.
Good job. Lawrence? Oh, Zayden.
All right, so coming into this competition, most people probably treat it as like a regular competition, a game and stuff. I saw it as an opportunity to like find some stocks so I could use for myself because I wanted to make money. So when I saw that million, I didn't treat it as a game. I treated it as like my actual bank account, and because that's gonna be me one day. And so what I would do is I would firstly look at an industry like tech. Tech is probably the biggest part of my portfolio because tech is on the rise. A lot of people want to get into tech. Tech is the future. Like, that's it. Tech is the future. So I would look at companies. Some of the things I would invest to is like electrical vehicles because that's the future. Heavy push on it. Government wants to implement more charging stations, wants people to use more electric vehicles in general. So I would look to, well, just search up some electrical vehicle companies that like involve that. Then I would go around, look at like, select maybe like 3 different companies, and I would go in, look at the news, see like what's happening with the company, how they're doing like annually, their financial reports. And if I saw that the company was doing well and I felt that the company was doing well, then I would invest into it. And that strategy worked pretty well because like they recommended around 12 stocks in total. I had like 30. And out of all those, I had like maybe 5 that I lost money on. The rest were making me a lot of money. And yeah, that's what helped me achieve second place.
Mr. Julian.
All right, everybody. Now, where do I start? So, now going into the stock competition, I've actually never invested in stock before the competition. But I had a very simple question. What will do well? Now, through the stock competition, I was able to discern my very question. While in the competition, I was able to learn much more, especially when it came to investing my own portfolio. While answering my question, it was actually quite simple. Company news, research of the company, and market trends. All these aspects were able to give a baseline of how I would evaluate real-world stocks in my own portfolio. Now, if you guys don't know what company news is, it's just basically news about a regular company. Market trends, for example, let's give you AI, right? AI is very popular, right, guys? NVIDIA, they made an AI chip. They're doing really well. So that became one of my stocks. This competition has taught me real-world experience for my future, while also teaching me financial literacy. Throughout the 9 months of the competition, I came to the conclusion that financial literacy is truly a paramount skill to live comfortably, especially now in the world we live in. The sooner someone starts learning about financial literacy, the better, in my opinion.
Lawrence.
Good afternoon. My name is Larson Spellview, and coming into this competition, I already had a really major interest into finance, and I thought that would really help me out. I was proven wrong. So originally, I was doing really well. I had all my stocks. I was in second place for 2 weeks straight, although once the end of November came around, the market crashed. I was down. I went from second place to 90th within a week. Now, throughout that period, I was shocked. So, but fortunately for me, and for the rest of us, we were having meetings with Mr. Redding once a week. So I asked him how I'd fix this. Now, I took a look at my stocks, and he took a look at them, and we found out that my stocks had no diversification, So he taught me this barbell method. It's risk management case. So this method helped me go back and get back up there from 90th back up to the top 8. Went from what, 6th place, back to 6th place, and that really helped me out. For a solid 2-month period, I didn't touch my stocks, and they kept on growing. So, Mr. Redding, thank you for that once more.
So I just, for all of you folks and no one inside this here room, say, well, these kids is too young to have it done. Henry is, what age, 15 years old? He's also 15 years old. He's also 15 years old. So what did that do? That did tell you. And we got these ladies in the back in the fourth and also fifth grade who turned out the joint yesterday. And so now I am going to have to go and talk to Miss Walters and talk to Michelle. How do I get into the Hancock School? Because that's where they are. They're inside that type of Hancock. And we cannot leave that type of untapped talent when that they're ready. Now, he offered to have them purchase a type of house in Chicago on the, in fact, a nice, good west side. I say that you stay here with us. Okay? So, anyway, do we have any questions? This is going to be, it is on, and this here with the money. Now, just to tell you, none of this cash they are about to spend on themselves. So there is no going to be no buying sneakers or warm-up school clothes. None of that, right? Right, guys? Right. So, the half of that money goes into their in fact, 29 plan, and the other half will go into their type of the in fact investment account that they will manage. So in fact now rather than them managing fake money, now it's real money. Now I think inside the case of Mr. in fact Henry, your total in fact investments now are what, 16 grand, 17 grand now in real cash. What is it now? Yeah, 30. He has $30,000 under his control in real money, and he just turned 15. Hey, listen, man, I told you, you ought to have me loan some money. Me and Miss Walter, yeah, can you loan us some money? Superintendent Priya, he's kind of like holding out on us. Well, anyway, so listen, I would like to have all of you in fact thanked. We are going to take ourselves some type of pictures. I like to thank all of the parents for having your kids gave to me, especially on the weekends. And, you guys have no idea. They are the ones calling me up. So my in fact wife tells me on Saturday morning, Sunday morning, well, you know that your kids is after you. Mr. in fact Turner, you got to come up here and open up this here with a door. This is on the holidays and Saturdays and Sundays. I'm like, what have we kind of created? So they're like, Tucker knows. It's like, man, these kids is like into it. So now our type of whole goal is to have this whole process, in fact, widen out to get as many kids as possible right involved, to have it really, if it was scaled, so that we are going to produce what the millionaires, so they can come on back in our neighborhoods and community, and they can make the communities richer and wealthier and all that stuff. So anyway, I want to give a last hand on the kids. And for the Chicago base, Mr. in fact was ready. And thank you very much for attending. And we're going to take ourselves some type of pictures. So Eric, I want you and also Kim in here. Kim. Mr. Redding. Mr. Reddy, can you come over and take a picture with us?
Is this all right? Can you fit us in?
You have us all? We have to ask Miss Waters and the superintendent, can you come over here? We have to have some lovely women in here.